Let's see here. Everything's working fine. Audio's working fine. As you can see, my what's it called, lawyer is not here right now. She thought she'd have plenty of time to do all the things she wanted to do before the stream started, and now she is 10 minutes late, so boo her in the chat. This is hella early. Yeah, I made a post about it in Discord that we'd be doing stream a little bit earlier today, because in the evening we have we have plans for a friend's birthday party, and so we're gonna get that all out of the way. And seeing that Monday is a stat holiday, we can take the evening to kind of like have fun, have some drinks, and then have a good time. So yeah, that's gonna be an early stream. I don't know how well that's gonna do for our usual viewership. Again, I posted this in Discord exclusively because I only want to talk to the people who really care about coming to these streams consecutively. Because if you're new and coming into this now, you're gonna be like, I don't know what's going on. I don't understand this. This game is stupid. So yeah, not too sad about the idea that there's probably not gonna be a lot of people in the chat, but that's fine. That's fine. Joyce isn't here yet. Again, like I said before, we're gonna continue on. I'm gonna do all the voices by myself, like a boss. Unfortunately, I don't know how the tuning goes. Let's see here. Trying to see if I can load in the voice synths here. Where are the voice synthesizers?
The macros.
Run macro buttons. Joyce is yelling at me in the background. There she is. Yeah. You looked out and saw the announcements. Great. Perfect. Awesome. Very good. I know this is probably better off for you. I know when we start streaming, you have to leave late. You have to leave it near the tail end of it, which kind of sucks. So here we go. And now we have this, and I can do reverbs. Reverberate. Widget robots. Meet more Zeep. Telephone. Ring ring. Hello. Housekeeping. All right. There we go. Everything's working fine. Now Joyce is here, coming in from the side. Ow. Fashionably late.
Hey man, I had to do the laundry.
Yeah, you had all the time in the world to do the laundry. You did it 15 minutes before we had to stream.
Yeah, that's because you had to go take a shower.
Yeah, so?
And so there were clothes that I had to wait for.
You had 3 clothes you had to wait for.
Yeah.
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 Here she is.
Yeah.
So I have my Capcom t-shirt today. I felt it was very important to have that. Joyce is here ruining the balance in my camera because she's wearing bright fucking white.
It is pink.
It is not pink.
It is absolutely pink.
It is bright. Let me just do a quick little camera shuffle here. Do a little.
You're a camera shuffle.
Yeah, that's right. Shuffle waffles. Filters, color correction.
It's not that bad.
It's not too bad.
I just needed to sit down.
Oop, too much. Too much. Too little. There. Conked it down a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Everything is right in order. Let us continue with Turnabout for Tomorrow. This is the last court case of this game, isn't it?
Yes.
So I'm assuming there's going to be
the last official one.
The last official one.
And then when we finish this, there is the DLC.
The DLC. I think we have that in this, so.
Yes, I did download the DLC.
Okay, good.
I do have the DLC.
Awesome. All right, so go ahead and do Turnabout for Tomorrow, where we left off last. We are starting this totally legit, not legally non-binding mock trial to discover who is the true moiterer of who's the true moiterer. But that being said, hello again. Welcome to the Daring Player Squad channel. If you're new here, we're 5 people who play video games. Today is Sunday, where we are playing Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. Dual Destinies. We are coming to the tail end of this game. You might expect some bad voice dubs and fun synthesized voices for funsies. My name's Rashi.
I'm Joyce.
And here we go. We go with Edgeworth. Right. He is interviewing. Who was he interviewing in this case?
No, I think the robot is on.
Oh, is it?
I think the robot is on the stand right now.
Okay. Do me a favor. Would you?
Aura as.
Yeah. Would you do me a favor and just use the... oops, this is weird. That needs to close. I'm gonna press OK and close that. Just use the buttons when doing all the reverbs, because I don't know what happens when you ever use the alt buttons. It fucks everything up. And I don't know why. The hotkeys are not built for alt keys. Anyway. Witness, please state your name and your occupation.
This little guy. Widget is.
Use the button.
As long as it's
okay.
My name is not Witness. My name is
Yes, I realize that, but when you are at the witness stand, you are the witness.
No, I am not! I'm Ponko! Say it with me, Ponko!
What an utterly inflexible little robot. You're the last person who should be calling anybody inflexible. You remind me of my grandchild who just learned his own name. Oh, how precious. All right, Ponko, I'm going to ask you some questions.
Questions? You have questions? Hooray! What are your questions?
I want to know if you were there at the scene of the murder of Metis Sykes. It was 7 years ago, on the 7th of October around 2 p.m. in the robotics lab.
Certainly. Just one moment. Searching data. Search complete. Yes, I was there in the robotics lab.
Holy shit, this robot has a great memory. Did you notice it has metal boobs?
That's how you can tell it's a she.
It's a she, apparently, yeah. It would seem this robot's testimony is necessary to this case after all. This is great. I just knew Ponko must have seen something important. A murder committed right before this poor little girl's eyes. It's inexcusable. The judge seems ready to adopt Ponko as another grandchild. So, little Ponko, do you think you can give us your testimony today?
Sir, that's a robot, sir.
That's a 6-year-old, that's a 7-year-old robot.
She's 6.
She's 6.
I went to the robotics lab at about 2 p.m. for my regular recharge. Just as I was about to charge up, Athena came in and hugged Mommy Metis. And then Mommy Metis fell down. After that, I was recharging, so I don't know anything. After I charged up, I was cleaning the room, and Mr. Simon came in. And then an error occurred. There is no data after that point.
Well, it sounds like the defendant was without question at the scene. However, it doesn't appear that the witness saw the actual moment of the murder. I disagree. This testimony shows that defendant indeed. I disagree. This testimony shows that the defendant did indeed commit the crime. What? At the end of the day, we mustn't forget that this witness is still a machine. Being a robot, its understanding and capacity to express itself are limited. So what are you suggesting? The witness's statement needs to be interpreted. For example, the terms hugged and then later fell down. Adults don't usually fall down after being hugged by a child. They don't, but... Yes, what this witness's statement are telling us is that the defendant stabbed the victim with a murder weapon during this moment. What? Holy crap, it's a murder trial! Why are we in this room? It's broken. Before Miss Sykes hugged Dr. Sykes, did the two of them converse?
Yes, they did. They spoke to each other very loudly, but I don't know what they said. Athena is usually so quiet, so I was surprised.
Spoke very loudly. We can interpret this as they argued. I see. Murder after a heated argument, and then the victim, quote unquote, fell down. I agree that it does sound like a reasonable interpretation. However, Ponko doesn't seem to remember anything that happened after that.
When I am recharging, I go into sleep mode. But I remember everything after that. I have a very good memory.
Before that.
Everything before that.
There you go.
Before that.
Yeah, good job. You may as well admit defeat now, right? A cross-examination would be useless. Don't be ridiculous! The cross-examination is never useless! Until now. Think about it. Robots don't lie. This robot is both an important witness and a valuable evidence at the same time. Nevertheless, I will have my cross-examination. I see you haven't changed. You never were one to worry about wasting time. Very well. Even if it may be a waste of time, you may proceed, Mr. Rat. I'll show you both just how fruitful any cross-examination can be. God, I'm so hot right now. It's racing hard on right now.
Press the statement about hugging and falling. The third one.
Mommy fell down. After that, I was recharging. Press?
Yes.
I don't want to delve too deeply here, but could you tell us how the victim appeared and acted at this moment?
Mommy Mentis was very surprised when she was hugged. I heard her heart pound.
Her heart? Mr. Wright, have you forgotten about this document we found in the robotics lab? These robots have a heartbeat detection system. Now that he mentions it, I do remember reading something like that there. They detect the presence of people by the sound of their heartbeats. But wait a minute. That means if Dr. Sykes really did die at this moment... Ponko, how was Dr. Sykes after she fell down? Could you still hear the sound of her heartbeat?
Let's see. The moment she fell, her heart was pounding. After that, I don't know. I started recharging just then.
After of all the unlucky timing, if you had heard anything after that, it could have been possible to prove the hug wasn't actually the moment of the murder.
I'm very sorry. I'm afraid I don't know. I'm very sorry.
The robot is designed to go into sleep mode automatically, so it can't be helped. But it does appear detected an increased heart rate at the moment of the stabbing. Oh.
After Mommy Mentis' heart started pounding in surprise, she fell by the window. It was the round window on the workbench side of the room.
The workbench, huh? Ponko must be talking about that table to the right, where the giant robot is now. Is there something critical in Ponko's statement just now? Of course.
Absolutely is.
Your Honor, I believe this statement is critical. I'd like to add it to her testimony. Very well. Ponko, could you please add that statement to your testimony? That's a good little girl.
Okay. Sir, that's still a robot. That's still a robot.
Okay, and then we present...
Oh, Edgeworth, your animation is so smooth now.
Yeah,
that's
so crisp. I'm assuming we gotta show the photo of the
yes.
This thing.
Yes, because she is nowhere near that round window. That's the other side of the
body
room.
Must have been moved, right?
Uh-huh.
Ponko, your statement may have just inspired a breakthrough.
I was helpful? Hooray! I'm so happy! I'm so sad.
I'm so happy. I'm so sad. Just to be sure, let's go over it again, okay? The victim fell near the window on the workbench side of the room. However, her body was discovered on the operating table. But the operating table and the workbench are two different locations.
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Exactly, Your Honor. We've just learned a new crucial fact. What could explain the two very different locations of the body? I'll tell you what. The victim moved. So she wasn't dead at the time. An 11-year-old girl couldn't have moved the heavy body of an adult, so the only explanation is the victim walked to the operating table herself. In other words, what Ponko observed near the workbench couldn't have possibly have been the moment of the murder. Holy crap, he's right! I mean, if it was a strong 11-year-old, it could have. Shut up, Jeff! Woo! I'm very relieved to hear that. Glad to know that the murder wasn't committed in front of the little Ponko here.
Oh, wow.
Okay, really?
Wow.
Yes, as we've just heard in the testimony, Miss Sykes hugged her mother, nothing more.
Objection!
Oh, I just realized his glasses are hanging off the side of his pocket. He didn't just take them off, they're hanging on the side of his pocket. Oh my god.
Right.
Right.
It's been 8 years, but you're still as green as ever. Green? But I can't recall ever seeing Mr. Wright in anything but a blue suit. Oh, come on, Judge. Hey, blue's my favorite color. What can I say? If the defendant couldn't have moved the body herself, she could have had it moved for her. Moved for her? But Miss Sykes and Dr. Sykes were the only ones there. I agree. Since this robot is equipped with a heartbeat detection system, it would have been aware of another person's presence if someone else had been there. We can therefore conclude that the defendant and the victim were the only ones present. Then who do you suggest move the body? Don't you know it's in the nature of a robot to help people do things? Miss Panko, allow me to ask you a question.
My name's Ponko! Say it with me! Ponko!
I believe you said you were cleaning after Dr. Sykes fell down. Did you happen to move something large onto the operating table?
Yes, I did. Athena asked me to.
Athena asked you to? And what did you move, little Ponko?
I don't know. Unless something has an ID tag, I can't tell what it is.
41 subscription. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Wayward.
Thank you, Wayward, for funding our endeavors for many a moons.
My goodness.
Many moons.
My goodness. That is so many moons.
I hope this earlier stream time hasn't been too crazy. I feel like it's a lot better for most people, especially on a Sunday, but let us carry on here. An ID tag, you say?
Yes, an ID with a barcode on it. We robots scan them to tell us what a thing is.
Huh. The paper in the lab did mention something about that. Recognizes people by scanning their spacesuit or uniform jacket ID, it said. So it would appear that Miss Ponko here can't identify what moved.
Seriously, man, you have one job.
My name is Ponko!
But we humans have the power to imagine what it was, do we not? Oh, we do? Well, I do at the very least. Miss Ponko, on the defendant's command, you move the body onto the operating table. Ah! Holy shit, it could happen. Totally plausible. Man, is it just me or does Edgeworth look really hot right now? Ponko, did you really move Dr. Sykes' body? This is really important. Isn't there any way you could tell?
I don't know. Without an ID tag, I can't tell.
Give up, right? If the victim's heart was stopped, the robot's detection system would be useless. Furthermore, Dr. Sykes usually wore her white coat when she was working. She kept the jacket with her ID tag on it draped over a chair in the robotics lab, and only wore it for special occasions. In other words, the victim wasn't wearing her ID tag at the time. From the robot's point of view, her body was simply just another object.
Objection!
How dare you objectify women, sorry. But Ponko was equipped with a facial recognition system. If she really did move the victim, she would have recognized the body as Dr. Sykes. But she didn't, so that means...
Objection!
A face can easily be covered with a piece of cloth, a mask, or anything else for that matter. With her facial features hidden, the robot wouldn't have been able to tell it was Dr. Sykes. He is right. To summarize, Miss Sykes stabbed her mother near the workbench. Then, using the robot, she moved the body to the table, where she removed the sword and was stained in blood. Oh man, that's gross. I'm eating over here.
How my gay lawyers, are they still being gay? They're still being very gay.
Very gay. Order. But if that's the case, then I have a question.
It's like their spark never left.
Why did the defendant move the body to the operating table in the first place? You want a reason? Very well. What? You can't possibly have an explanation.
Evidently.
Mecha Claude. Hello, Mecha Claude.
Our gay lawyers are being summoned.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your emotions blind you to the truth. You could learn a lot from our robot friend. Calm and rational thought will open your eyes to the truth in front of you, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright.
Dr. Wright. Call me Dr. Wright.
He's like, yeah. Oh, are we playing that game now? Professor Edgeworth.
Let me see you with your glasses on.
Now then, do you remember the operating table? Table's one special feature.
Oh God, we're in courtroom flirting.
I believe I read that robots can be assembled and disassembled there. Isn't that right? That's right. To the defendant, who was just a child at the time, the table was like a magic box that could make robots appear or disappear in seconds.
But in the end, my mom just put her on the operating table and fixed her in a flash. I was so impressed by what my mom did. I even asked her if she would put me on the table and fix me if I ever got hurt. It looked just like magic to me, what she could do.
You can't possibly be suggesting this young, sheltered girl. I can't get the voice right. Hold on. Peter Piper picked a there we go. And this young, sheltered girl had a difficult time distinguishing robots from people. But take a look at Ponko's arm. It was Miss Sykes who bandaged it up just like that. She must have thought that machines heal in the same way people do. What an adorable, naive mistake. Reminds me of my own grandchildren. No way! I refuse to believe it! Miss Sykes made a childish, naive, and cruel mistake. She thought that if a robot could be dismantled and vanished without a trace... Prosecutor Edgeworth! If you're about to claim what I think you are, I demand that you word it as delicately as you can. With all due respect, Your Honor, all I can do is present the truth as it stands. The reason the defendant moved the victim's body to the operating table... No! Don't say another word! Just stop! Was to dismantle the evidence so that she could get away with the crime!
Edgeworth, please!
That can't be true! Oh my god, Phoenix is like losing his mind.
Oh, come on!
Holy crap, that's crazy! I mean, like, what the hell? Oh god, I just upchucked my chili dog. Order in this court! Order in this court, I say!
If nothing else, she would have put it on the table to try and fix her.
Yeah, it could be both ways, yeah.
And then...
Edgeworth, she was just a little kid. How could you say such a horrible thing? Horrible? Like I said, you're just as green as ever. I came here today as a prosecutor to seek out only the truth. No more, no less. The theory is a simple result of a rational consideration of every possibility.
Objection!
But dismantling isn't the table's only function. It can make repairs as well. It's conceivable that Miss Sykes moved her mother to the table in order to fix her. I suppose that could be another way of reinterpreting it. But dismantle or repair doesn't matter either way. What do you mean? After murdering her mother, Miss Sykes may have come to her senses. Perhaps she did want to make it appear as if it never had happened. And that's why she tried to repair her mother. Yes, that's one possible explanation. But we mustn't forget the facts of this case. The victim was observed to fall down after being hugged by the defendant, and the body was moved per the defendant's command. These two facts that indicate the defendant's guilt, remain unchanged. This just can't be true. Mr. Rat, do you have any evidence to refute the prosecution's claim? Evidence? Right. Let's see. I can't think of any. I'm afraid I don't have any evidence. Since becoming chief prosecutor, I've learned that the truth isn't always pretty. Now, accept the truth, Mr. Wright. Your subordinate murdered her own mother. Your Honor, the prosecution demands a verdict. The hostages have suffered enough. What a terrible and tragic conclusion. If the defense has no counter-argument, I see no need to further prolong this trial. Edgeworth's arguments seem solid enough, but there's no way Athena could have ever done anything like that. What do I do? There has to be something, but I can't think of a single thing.
I mean, yeah, you would imagine a child would be in shock, for sure.
Oh, here comes a hero. Prosecutor Blackwell. This is quite the farce you're conducting here. I could die from laughter. Prosecutor Blackwell, what are you talking about? Oh god, I'm gonna have to switch between my two different English accents without mixing them up a bit. Okay, Prosecutor Blackwell, what are you talking about?
Just add more grit to one of them.
What I'm talking about is your argument is based on an entirely false premise. Go on, we're listening. Could this be the miracle I needed? But what is Prosecutor Blackwell trying to pull here? 7 years. For 7 long years. This case has been on my mind. Not for an instant did I not think of it. I'm the one who killed my mentor. And don't think you can alter that fact now. Your boldness. I will take to the stand, and I won't take no for an answer. Of course, Prosecutor Blackwell. Please go ahead.
"7 years ago.
I went to the Cosmos Space Center with the intention of killing Dr. Sykes. But when I got to the robotics lab, I found Athena there instead. I could not be swayed from my purpose, so I waited until Dr. Sykes to return, and then I committed the act. How cathartic it was. But little Ponko here witnessed the victim falling. In other words... I don't need any of your other words, old man. I can guess what happened. Which would be... She fell means she fell. Merely that. A mother and child fooling around. Perhaps she tripped. Not that it matters. When I entered the lab, there was no trace of Dr. Sykes to be seen. There was no dead body either, of course, meaning she must have left the room. So the murder occurred after the time period Ponko described in her testimony. You could hardly take stock in the words of a wind-up toy.
Objection!
Then how do you explain the fact that the defendant had the robot move something? Athena was always tinkering with robots on the operating table to amuse herself, and she always had Ponko move the heavy ones for her. That day was no different. Ponko moved a heavy robot for Athena. These guys sound really familiar. Is that just me? Maybe they're the same person. This is awful. What he's saying seems to make sense, and yet...
Objection!
Prosecutor Blackwell, are you trying even now to turn away from the truth? Do you realize we could bring the Dark Age of Law to a close today?
Objection!
You expect too much from me. I'm just saying a murder beyond redemption. I'm just a murderer beyond redemption. Why don't you just let me go so I can settle down into hell? Yeah. Prosecutor Blackwell's execution is tomorrow. If the truth doesn't come out now, it's all over. Are you saying that this little girl and the robot had nothing to do with the murder? That's right. So let's hear your verdict. If we don't hurry, I might miss the ferry across the Styx. Oh.
Don't you dare judge. Wait.
It's Robert, Nora.
Yeah, don't you dare judge. Don't forget I have hostages over here. And Simon, how long are you going to cover for her?
Miss Blackwell! Forgive me, Aura. I never wanted you to do anything like this for me. But you agreed to this trial. If you have a counter-argument, then present your evidence. That's the rule of the courtroom. Isn't that right, Chief Prosecutor? Blackwell, you selfish... Well, to be frank, I don't like this, but it is my duty to make a decision. If no one has a counter-argument, I will announce my verdict. Is this really happening? Is this really going to end just like it did 7 years ago?
I wanted to do it so bad. Even now, I want to fly out of here and go save him.
No, I can't tell her. But how can I lie to Athena? If I can't prove Prosecutor Blackwell's innocence in this trial, I don't think Athena will ever forgive me.
Mommy Blackwell.
Yeah. I can't let this happen. But if I don't have the evidence to counter Prosecutor Blackwell's testimony...
Oh no!
Can we get this over with? I really gotta go to the bathroom. I think it's Athena. There she is.
Hold it!
Athena, what are you feeling okay?
How did you get
How did you get here?
Like, sure, she's in the stands, but I mean, like, I don't think you're allowed to do that.
Oh shit, there's advertisements. I forgot about that. You want to pop open the other
thing. Like, by this point, it's already gone.
Yeah, but we should keep an observation on it.
So keep an observation on it.
Just so we know.
Yeah, just so you know. Just so you know when the...
yeah, throw it advertisements. There we go. Okay, sorry for the advertisements.
8 minutes. Yeah, okay. Next time now we'll know. God, why are you like this? Why are you like this? Why are you like this?
Prosecutor Blackwell. I could do that twice next time. It's a slight variation of my Maya's voice. Wow, Phoenix. Let's go outside and get some hamburgers.
Oh God, I can hear it. I can hear the voice of his heart. He's hiding something. I think you should stop. I hear it. I hear too much.
If he really is, I could use Athena's help here. Her power might be just the thing to get us through this.
Objection!
Please let the voice of his heart stop.
Sykes, Donald. No need for you to chime in here. Just accept that you're innocent.
Objection!
These past 7 years, they've been just as hard on me, you know?
What are you talking about?
Do you remember? That horrible, horrible trial. Oh, this is baby Athena. This is baby.
Please, you have to listen to me!
So cute.
He didn't kill her! His heart is screaming that he didn't kill her!
Blackwell's heart. Sorry.
I think this is... Even now, every time I stand in a courtroom, it comes back to haunt me.
Do you remember? 21st night
Not being
September.
Not being heard, no matter how hard you try. Feeling so helpless. Caught in people's stares. So scared that it feels like your chest is in a vice. I'm terrified of courtrooms. I want to run out of that door even now.
And yet, you found a way to keep your fears at bay and become a lawyer.
Thanks. That's because one day, I came to realize I had to fight. I couldn't give up. I exercised hard and studied hard. I wanted to become the strongest lawyer I could be. This day has finally come. The day I've been looking forward to with all my heart. This is why I became a lawyer. This is why I studied psychology. It was all to save you from this false conviction.
But Miss Sykes, do you realize what it would mean? You are the accused after all. If you prove Prosecutor Blackwell's innocence, then...
The only thing that matters is the truth. It's my duty to find out what that truth is.
People thought Athena was a very Mary Sue. Like, no, she's got problems.
Yeah. Simon, please give me this chance. The chance to shake off this fear that's been with me for 7 years and to face the truth.
Athena is being so brave, confronting her past like this. This might really be the last chance to save them both. Prosecutor Blackwell, please testify one more time about the incident 7 years ago.
I think the one criticism about Athena is that there's not enough screen time for her.
Yeah, she gets like opted out of like 3 or 4 times in the entire place here. I'm like, isn't this like...
Apollo gets an entire game to himself.
Yeah.
And Athena has to share her screen time with the entire cast.
She has to be in an ensemble.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
Fine, but your efforts will surely be in vain, for I'm not a man who can be cut down easily.
Here we go, Simon. Let me hear the voice of your heart.
Simon Blackwell's heart. Smiley winky face. Hello, Georgie.
Psychology, go!
Ding 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 ding
Yes.
ding. I went to the Cosmos Space Center with the intention of killing Dr. Sykes. But when I got to the robotics lab, I found Athena there instead. Why was he happy or angry? Yeah, happy. That was really weird.
Why is he happy?
I would not be swayed from my new purpose, so I waited until Dr. Sykes returns, and then I committed the act.
That's strange.
Yeah, pinpoint.
Yes, pinpoint the happiness. Why was he happy that Athena was there?
Yeah.
To witness him murdering her mother?
This feeling of happiness. Even though the person you were looking for wasn't there, you felt happy. Why is that? Simple. When I was looking for Athena and hadn't found her yet, I grew worried. So when I saw her in the robotics lab, I was happily relieved. Merely that. Ooh.
Why were you worried that Athena was missing?
Just now you said that you went to the space center to kill Dr. Sykes. But the first thing you did was look for her daughter instead? I had no intention of harming Athena, so I wanted to confirm that she was safe first. It was just part of my plan. Nothing contradictory about that. I mean, like, there's no reason for you to have been looking for her. Like, wouldn't she already be safe? Like,
Yeah.
So that means you knew that something bad was happening. Like, something wrong was going to happen. Yeah. The second I find an inconsistency, he just cuts it down.
Simon knows the principles of analytical psychology. There's less noise now, but I don't see any instabilities we can latch onto.
I was afraid of that. We'll just have to keep chipping away at him then, bit by bit. Could you update this testimony, Athena?
You got it, boss. Bloop, bloop.
Info updated. Head pats.
Aw, pat, pat, and you shall live.
Do we just
Huh?
continue to pinpoint?
Keep going.
Oh, and now he's sad, which is weird. Because that was...
Yeah, that's interesting.
Why was it changed, right?
Yeah, that's
I guess because when you clear away the happiness, it influences the testimony less, so you can kind of distinguish the real feelings. Huh. Not even you can falsify your emotions, Prosecutor Blackwell. What? When you said that you killed Dr. Sykes in your testimony, you felt sadness. Why would someone who had laid in wait to kill her be sad at her death? It might have been an accident. He might have, like, killed the wrong person, yeah. Or...
No, he said he went there with the intention to kill her.
Yeah, but why was he sad when he did it?
Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah. Such an obvious attack. Yes, I felt sadness, but it wasn't for her. I felt sorrow for Athena and her circumstances. What can't... he can't be talking about that, can he?
I was just a convenient subject for her research.
Dr. Sykes was so intent on her research, she forced her daughter to undergo experiments. My objective was to save Athena from an obsessive scientist who treated her own daughter like a research subject. What? I went to the psychology lab first. That's where I could usually find Athena playing. But that day was different. I heard someone crying in the robotics lab next door. Was Athena being subjected to another experiment, I thought, as I went to see. Conveniently, Athena had cried herself to sleep, so all I had to do was wait and kill. So that's why he was relieved when he saw Athena. But is this story really true? I'm not sure how much to believe. Okay, so is she really a terrible human? Is that it? You seem as in the dark as I was when I was playing this. Yeah, we don't actually know the end of this.
Yeah.
We do have the walkthrough, but the walkthrough only tells us the path to get there. So the data being revealed to us is completely new.
I mean, this is our first playthrough
Yeah.
of this game, and there's only so much that fan fiction will tell me.
Usually involves sausages and milk meat. Meat milk, sorry.
Put your meat milk in the meat box.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yes, Phoenix, that's what I want.
I want your meat milk in my meat box.
Give me your meat milk, Phoenix. How are you doing, Athena? Still hanging in there?
I'm a lot stronger than I look, boss. Although I'd really like to wipe that image of meat milks and meat boxes out of my mind now, thanks. Now, take a look at this. The noise level actually increased.
Huh. It went up. I've never seen it do that before.
Prosecutor Blackwell is lying somewhere in his testimony. As a matter of fact, he's piling lie on top of lie in an attempt to make his claims sound more believable. He's trying even harder to suppress his true feelings, and that's what's causing the noise.
How in the world should I approach this? I can either use an evidence-based approach. If I can either use an evidence-based approach, I can either use an evidence-based approach if I can find a contradiction. Otherwise, I should look for an inconsistency in his emotions.
So either is is possible.
Yeah. There are no flaws in my testimony, and his boldness is prepared to give his verdict. Give up on this lost cause, and let the law free me of these chains already.
Objection!
I don't think so. Not while I'm around. Now, contradictory testimony or inconsistent emotions? Which should I tackle first?
Tackle his emotions first. Talk to his emotions!
Okay, let's look for inconsistent emotions.
Got it, boss. But if you want to try looking for a contradictory statement instead, just let me know. I can easily switch over.
I heard crying and surprise. Okay. So now she was crying and he was surprised.
The game was easy up until this point, and now you're like, ah, shit, there are so many ways to do this.
Then Athena, and then he was surprised again, and then sad and angry. So, here? Or just surprised when he saw Athena? No.
Yes.
Yeah, this seems weird. Why would he be surprised? Like you said you were looking for her, but why were you surprised when you found her, right? How odd. Why would you register surprise at opening the door to the lab? All right, fine. I'll explain if I must. What surprised me was Ponko. That toy figure attacked me. Dr. Sykes knew full well of my plan to rescue Athena, but she couldn't stand guard over her daughter 24 hours a day. So Dr. Sykes had Ponko do it? That's right. She ordered Ponko to forcibly remove me on sight. So I slashed Ponko up with the katana that was there in the lab. That rickety old puppet wasn't worth that fine blade.
Mr. Wright, it's happening again. There's even more noise now.
So he's lying? Mm-hmm. It's at 100% now. What's going on here?
Whenever we find an opening, he covers it up with lies.
Ponko was reading Phoenix Wright fan fiction and learned. You want to put the robot voice?
What?
Put the robot voice.
Ponko was reading Phoenix Wright fan fiction, and I learned several new words and expressions in that moment.
Oh.
Adding meat milk.
Adding meat milk to dictionary. Adding meat box to the dictionary.
Oh, God.
Whenever we find an opening, he covers up lies. Yeah. There we go. No! hit it.
Yes!
There you go. We'll never get
rid of the noise at this rate.
It's pretty hard to keep coherent lies like that. His mind and will are as sharp and strong as a katana. All right, what should I tackle first this time?
Probably the testimony at this point.
Yeah, because he lied, so the testimony is wrong, and we can nitpick at it. I think there might be an inconsistency in Prosecutor Blackwell's testimony.
Sorry. All right, let's give it a thorough check.
With a feeling of dread, I opened the robotics lab door. Just then, Kung Fu fighting. Ponko attacked me. I retaliated by cutting it into pieces. But with the just before I could lead Athena out there, curse my luck, Dr. Sykes came in. I refused to hand Athena over, so I had no choice but to kill my mentor.
If you find an inconsistent statement, present evidence to the contrary.
Yeah, like if the robot had been cut up but hadn't... No.
Keep going.
Yeah, wasn't Ponko already, like, broken at the time?
Mr. Wright? If you can't find any problems with his testimony...
No, there's something here as well.
There's something here.
Let's just keep looking for inconsistencies in his testimony.
Okay, but you ever want to switch, just let me know.
And then...
You're on the right track.
Yeah,
Yes.
like in this photo here... No, it is...
Yep.
Is this photo? Oh, this photo.
Yep.
Yeah, in this photo, you can see Ponko's already been, like, cut to pieces and there's blood on it and patched up. So Ponko's already decommissioned at this moment. So he couldn't have attacked him.
Objection!
Compounding lies with more lies is never the answer, Prosecutor Blackwell. Take a look at this photograph. Every time it looks, it makes me laugh. Because you're a fucking liar. That's the photo of the supposed moment of the murder, isn't it? How many more times must I see which damned me for my sins? The ironic thing is, I think this picture is actually going to be your savior now. See the bloodstain at the end of Ponko's arm where it was severed with a katana? I hope you aren't claiming it's robot blood, Mr. Rat. No, most likely the blood was transferred there from a bloody katana.
There it is.
Yeah. The katana already had blood on it, so then it must have been the victim's blood. That's right. But if that's the case, we've found a glaring inconsistency. Gah. You said in your testimony that you cut up Ponko, and then you killed Dr. Sykes. But in spite of that, the victim's blood is already on Ponko's arm in this picture. What? But that couldn't be. Exactly. In order for the blood to have transferred from the sword to Ponko's arm, the victim must have been stabbed first, therefore before the robot was slashed. In other words, Prosecutor Blackwell, your entire testimony is nothing but one giant ball of lies! Ugh. Tell the court the truth, Prosecutor Blackwell, now! You have no idea what you're doing.
His voice! There's so much discord! I'm hearing not just one or two, but a bunch of rampaging emotions here. It's hard to describe. It's like a violent whirlpool or something.
Oh, flashy eyes. Phoenix Wright, you will pay for this. Oh, he didn't call him Right Dono, which is really funny.
He's pissed at you.
Yeah, never have I been forced to reveal so much, but the rest I'll take to my grave. Prosecutor Blackwell, you are on the witness stand. You are obligated to tell the truth. Isn't that the rule of the courtroom?
All of these complex emotions, they seem to be flowing from one source. I think whatever he really saw that day is what's causing these feelings.
Uh-oh.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God. It's going fucking
Emotional
nuts.
overload. Emotional overload.
Following the sound. Oh, yeah, he's fucking going off right now. I saw it, the terrible scene. But before I could, Sykes came in. No, Joyce went to kill my mentor. Okay, so he's just drowning himself in emotion right now.
This voice, it hurts to even listen to it. He's been living with this pain inside him for all these years.
And the root of it all is hidden somewhere in this testimony, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. Please hurry. Please set him free, Mr. Wright.
He saw the terrible scene. So if I probe him
Yes.
on this one?
Probe him.
Oh. No, saw this one. He saw the murder. Or he saw a murder.
Got it!
I think, yeah, he saw something there. He saw the body, or something along the lines of that. The root cause of all these emotions is this.
I'm actually not getting any particularly
really?
big readings there, Mr. Wright.
I guess that's not it then. What could have caused Blackwell to react with all these emotions at once?
It is the second statement that you want to probe for.
Is it the robot? Is it Athena? Is it himself? Is it Jesus?
Probe Athena.
Excuse me? Excuse me, at this moment she's 6? Athena. Yeah, that sounds good. When you opened the door and saw Athena, you became overwhelmed by your emotions. Isn't that right, prosecutor? You should know better.
Jesus Christ.
And though it's pathetic, I admit I'm terrified to speak of it. Prosecutor Blackwell, Miss Sykes is innocent. I will always believe that with all my heart. Now can't you find it within yourself to believe in me too? Athena is innocent, huh? Can you honestly say you believe that to be true? Right or no? I gave you my word. Now tell me what you really saw when you opened that door. Curse you, Phoenix Wright. Now we know the truth. Hopefully the animation doesn't like destroy the frame rate here. Oh no, it was a tragedy. One I'll never forget.
Oh, you know what? Shit. I should have saved state before you did that prove.
Oh, you can stay state right now if you want.
No, it's too late.
Why? Is there other things you can do?
Because that was one of 3 possible bad endings you could have gotten.
Bad endings?
Yeah.
There are bad endings?
There are bad endings if you fail.
Okay, cool.
Oh, man. Damn.
Don't worry, we'll double back after, and then when we do the DLC, we'll do a quick little what if situation. What if?
Yeah.
When I arrived at the lab, Dr. Sykes was already dead. She was lying on the operating table, while the bloody katana lay on the floor. And standing between the two, covered in blood, was Athena. She smiled, with a far-off look in her eyes, as sweetly, and she smiled with a far-off look in her eyes, as she sweetly said,
Damn, that's a murder child right there.
Something's wrong with Mom, so I'm taking her apart to fix her.
oh shit. She probably lost it when her mother died, and so she put it on the operating table, and then made things worse. That's what I saw, and now you have it. The truth you so desperately wanted. No. Prosecutor Blackwell finally tells the truth, and this is what it is? It's beyond devastating.
I tried to take my mother apart. I... Just hold that O.
You did the reverb. No.
I could have.
Yeah.
No, it was me. I'm the one who killed my mother.
Athena! As I said, right, the truth isn't always as pretty. Murder, disassembly on an operating table, a scientist using her daughter as a guinea pig. Sadly, it appears that my theory was correct after all.
Objection!
Just a fucking trap, you twat. Hey, stump game. Oh, 53. Hello, friends. You have come at a very critical moment here.
Wow, you're in for spoilers if you have not
spoilies,
seen.
McSpoiler sins.
Jesus.
Oh my God!
Christ.
Shout out!
Yes,
We're gonna give you a quick
hello,
shout out.
Sal,
Let's see
thank
where
you.
you've
Holy
been.
shit.
Welcome all to the stream. This is the Daring Player Squad channel. We're 5 people who play video games.
Finishing off with the option of Judgment.
Judgment. Isn't that is that a Sega game? No.
As a
Sega employee, I am. Yeah, thank you. Hello, welcome all. Yeah, this is Daring Player Squad channel. We're 5 people who play video games. Today is my day, Rashi and
Joyce,
and we play games like what's it called? We play games like Ace Attorney and other games like that, visual novels, and we do bad voice dubs on top of them. And so you are here at the very tail end of the fifth episode of
Dual
Destinies. We are finding out the truth of the murder of Dr. Sykes and the possible murderers. So yeah, thanks a lot for coming by. Thanks a lot for hitting us with that lovely 53 daytime raid. This is our first. We don't usually raid this early in the day. We don't usually stream this early in the day. We have some plans that pushed up our timeline, so this is actually a lot earlier than usual. Oh shit, you missed something. What did you miss?
What did you miss?
What did we miss?
Did we miss something? Did you miss something?
But yeah, in this part of the game, you can actually get multiple bad endings if you address the testimony differently. This is like the tale. Like this is like what was it? This is the compilation of how many different Phoenix Wright games systems?
This is game 5.
Yeah, this is the 5th game. So they compile everything into this one game in terms of just like the way you do things and the way the gameplay works. But yeah, here we are at the very tail end. So if you're wanting to play Ace Attorney, you might want to skip out, and I wouldn't blame you for it. But if you want to come back, you can totally throw us a like, hit us with subscribe, and we'll stream again later this week. And you can watch all the rest of it on our YouTube channel because we have all of our shit archived there as well. So keep a lookout for that.
That one.
God, do we have my favorite my favorite bad boy stubs has to be Final Fantasy. I think
9?
Final Fantasy 10.
10?
No,
we did not do 10.
Final Fantasy 8, the one with Squall and Renoa. But yeah.
No, Ellie.
Is it what?
It was Ellie. You were talking to Ellie.
Who?
That particular clip that you're thinking of?
Which clip?
The I've never been to a Whole Foods.
Oh, you know, I mean,
okay.
no, I mean, yeah, but that was Final Fantasy. That was Final Fantasy 8. So
okay.
Anyway, we'll continue on. You have been warned. Spoilies ahead.
Yes, spoilies ahead. Spoilies ahead.
It's true that Athena didn't like her mother's research, but you dare cast aspersions on my mentor by blaming Athena was used in such a manner. Dr. Sykes could be awkward with people, but she loved her daughter with all her heart.
She loved me?
Your mother hated to see you suffer because she could hear the voices of people's hearts. She wanted to set you free from your pain, so she worked tirelessly on her research. Do you remember those headphones you hated so much?
Oh, look at her. She's so cute. She's so miserable, but she's so cute. Yes, my head hurt every time I wore them.
No, Athena. It's just the opposite. They emitted sound waves to nullify emotional input from the voices of people around you. Your power was much stronger your power was much stronger then than it is now. And those headphones were what enabled you to carry on with everyday life.
So, not gonna lie, but that's like that's pretty much half of what we do at my hearing clinic. With people who are really sensitive to sounds, hyperacusis, we give them sound generating devices, and that helps mask things and make it much more bearable.
Something Spy X Family tie-in.
Yeah, I know, right? No, that can't be true. Then why? Why would I have done something like that? Somebody who loved me so much.
Her love for you was real. That I can guarantee. That's why I knew. That's what happened. That what happened had to be some kind of mistake. I couldn't let you be punished for it. So you took the blame yourself, and you and your mentor are more alike than you know.
Ad break in 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Oh, I'm so sorry for the ad break. I apologize. But
we'll be right back.
We'll be back in a minute.
I promise. We'll pause. We'll pause for the ad break. We're here on your side.
Ponko was a witness, so I put it in the case, held Athena close, and vacated the lab.
Aww.
I threw Ponko away in the boarding lounge trash chute, and I hid the case in the Space Center grounds. We'll take a quick spot break. But those of you who are subbed, hello. This is a nice little 30 seconds where we can talk.
I know. If you've been here for...
You're doing okay? You're hydrating? Depending on where you are. It is a sunny day outside, so enjoy that.
If you don't want to see advertisements, time to subscribe.
I mean, if you don't want to see ads, feel free to subscribe. I don't want to force you into it. We don't usually like to...
There's no such thing as a universal, paid Twitch account?
No, you have to subscribe individually to people to subscribe to basically special treatment.
Okay, so if you
Twitch Turbo?
Twitch Turbo.
Does it?
Oh,
okay,
there is.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't do Twitch a lot. I only stream on Twitch like every other day. I'm not getting an ad. Oh, great. Awesome.
Okay.
Anyway, let us continue. And I hid the case on the Space Center grounds. It would seem that we now have all the facts of this case. No, not yet. It can't end like this.
Objection!
Do not disgrace yourself, Mr. Wright. The truth has been revealed. Or are you the type of man to turn your back to things that disagree with you? I'm not. But this... I can't give up now. I have to say something. Anything, even if it's a bluff. I've always managed to pull through that way in the past. I have to make it work. The defense is, prepared to, present evidence.
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Athena?
it's okay. You can stop now.
How much long are we going for? 5 o'clock. That's the plan right now. So
Yeah.
about another hour.
5 or 6. I don't want you or anyone else to suffer any longer for my mistakes.
Athena, what are you saying?
I killed my mother. That's the truth. It's just like Prosecutor Edgeworth said. We have to face it, no matter how much it hurts. I admit my guilt. Athena, please, you are 7. But could I please be granted just one chance to tell everyone what I recall?
Nope, take her away. Guilty. Guilty. Take her away. Guilty. No, I'm sorry. It appears Miss Sykes is much braver than you, Mr. Wright. What say you, Your Honor? In light of her courage, will the court give Miss Sykes this opportunity to confess? Very well. Then if you would, please take the stand, Miss Sykes.
Thank you for letting me do this, Prosecutor Edgeworth. And thank you, Mr. Wright and Prosecutor Blackwell, for letting the truth be known. Now we can finally move forward and everyone's suffering can come to an end.
Athena! Prosecutor Blackwell will be cleared, and the dark age of the law can now come to an end. Yes, admit your guilt, and bring everything to its conclusion.
I killed my mother. My memory is still a little hazy, but there's no question I remember it. I remember the weight of the weapon in my hands, and the feeling of it stabbing in deep. And I remember the warmth of her blood as it flowed down the handle onto my fingers. Your Honor, please, find me guilty.
I dare say these are all memories that no one but the murderer would have.
She was 6.
I see. Thank you for your confession. I believe this trial has gone on long enough. But before we conclude, does anyone have a counter-argument? Come on, Phoenix.
Of course you do.
That's right, you do.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
I do, Your Honor. Mr. Wright.
But, Mr. Wright, why? I killed her. I remember it now. Any counter-argument now is pointless.
Objection!
Don't tell me you've forgotten one of the basic tenets of lawyering.
Question everything.
Always believe in the client to the bitter end. Athena, you are not a murderer.
I was gonna say question everything, but all right.
Was it called, nothing is true, everything is permitted?
Wait, wrong game.
It works the same way. I said that you've never changed, but could you have at least regressed in these 8 years?
Oh, this is also acceptable.
I won't stand for your childish emotionalism getting in the way of the truth. Emotionalism?
Always
Lift your
believe in the
knee up
heart of the
matters of the
cards.
heart, Edgeworth. You said you loved me. Sorry. Because I can see straight into a person's soul. Oh, does Phoenix have special powers? Yeah, he does. His mega tama tama.
Sir, Edgeworth, please, sir.
I will break her before I let her be guilty.
I
Is
know,
actually
right?
what Phoenix is saying. I will
Pretty much.
shatter her emotionally.
Oh, man.
I did a little research. I looked into those special psych locks you mentioned, Mr. Nick. Athena isn't trying to keep anything from you on purpose. For some reason, part of her heart and her memories are sealed off, even from herself.
That was grown up Pearly.
Yeah, so cute. There's still a chance. Somewhere deep in Athena's heart, there might still be a memory that not even she knows about yet.
She's growing up, I know.
It might be like looking for a grain of sand somewhere in the cosmos, but still, that memory might contain a new fact that could prove her innocence. I hope for everyone's sake that you are not just bluffing, Mr. Rat. Now then, is there or is there not a problem with Miss Sykes' confession?
My memory is still a little hazy, but there's no question I remember it. I remember the weight of the weapon in my hands, and the feeling of it stabbing in deep. And I remember the warmth of her blood as it flowed down the handle onto my fingers.
But that doesn't make any sense. There's no blood on the handle of the blade. There's definitely something wrong with her memory of the events.
No, yeah, so
Just tell.
the black Cyclops did appear for Kristoff, but we never broke those.
No.
That was at the very end of the game.
That's basically he has a memory that he won't even talk about.
Yeah.
And we never know what happened.
We never know what is wrong with Kristoff.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things wrong with Kristoff.
Yeah. Utility knife. Yeah, the blade. The victim's blood was found only on the blade, but she remembers it on her hands.
Yeah.
Which is wrong, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the katana the defendant used to kill the victim, Mr. Rat?
Oh,
I respectfully and vehemently disagree, Your Honor.
But I remember it. I remember holding the weapon and getting blood on my fingers.
That's exactly my point. If blood really did get on your fingers while you were holding it, there should be blood on the handle. But please focus on the handle of this sword. There's not a trace of blood on it. And therefore, this is clearly a contradiction of the facts.
You're right.
Oh my! Holy shit, this trail keeps on going! The defendant must simply confuse a portion of her memories. She mentioned it was hazy to begin with, and she can't mull over every minor detail.
Objection!
Yeah, a lot is wrong with Kristoff. Like, where did he get that skull?
Yeah,
The
things that you just never talk about.
The popping veins in his
Yeah.
hand. It's just, man, that guy is just born evil.
Yeah. But she also said there's no question I remember it, a fact that we can't ignore. In that case, why don't you explain this contradiction with her memories means? Gladly! Just give me a second to think of something. I want to say that Athena didn't stab anyone, but she said it herself that she remembers the feeling of committing the act. Think, Phoenix, think. What could the contradiction with Athena's memories mean? The defendant used a different weapon? Yes. Miss Sykes said the blood flowed down from the handle, but the katana's handle is spotless. So doesn't it follow that the defendant must have used a weapon other than the katana? What are you up to this time? This is it. This time I've found just the thing to end Athena's nightmare for good.
She was just trying to fix her mom.
Yeah. The woman was already dead when she went on the table. That was it. Yeah. And, Athena just fucking losing her fucking mind was just like running on autopilot, right? The weapon that took Dr. Sykes' life was a katana. That much is for sure. So if I can show a possibility that Athena didn't use the katana, it could help me prove her innocent. You know exactly what your husband is doing. A different weapon, you say? What weapon would that be exactly? Right, of course you would ask that. I can see you're floundering, Mr. Wright. Did you speak without thinking again, as always?
Yes.
How does he do that? But I can't back down now. Not here. Not now.
What do you mean, how does he do that? He knows you better than anyone.
That's right. I did. That's because it's so obvious. It doesn't require any thought. Bluff, bluff, brag, brag. What did you say?
Head empty,
Okay, so
no
maybe
thoughts.
it was an exaggeration, but there has to be something. You're married. Was there something other than bladed weapons in the robotics lab that day? Maybe there's something in one of the crime scene photos. Wait a minute. There is something. There's a high probability that there was a high probability that was in the lab. I don't have any particular weapon here in evidence right now, but I do have a piece of evidence just like it. Other than the katana, there is another blade that may have been at the scene of the crime. Utility knife.
Yes.
Because everyone has those tools inside the center. Right? But that's the murder weapon in the Clay Terran case. Yes, this is the knife that took Mr. Terran's life. But there must have been a knife just like this at the scene 7 years ago as well.
Also small enough and much more easy for a 7-year-old to handle.
And you can throw that down the fucking trash chute, right? It's not like you can't throw the katana down the trash chute and be like, you know. Toolkits containing utility knives like this are issued to Space Center employees. And a robotics lab especially would naturally have one of these around.
Objection!
Ooh, mamacita.
You say that like you've tried to dispose of a katana before. Are you speaking from a place of experience? All right.
Yes, I have thrown away many a long swords down trash chutes for non-nefarious purposes.
For legal purposes, this is a joke.
Not for legal purposes, this is a joke. But beside the katana, no other bladed weapon was found at the site. It was in the investigation report, if you didn't know. Of course I knew that, once you told me just now. Then here's something else you already knew. There was a toolkit at the scene, but it didn't contain any blades. Here is a photo of its contents. Ooh, thanks. Ah, but there is a missing blade. You're right. I don't see any type of bladed tool. Huh. Fine. But isn't there something odd about the design of these handles? Yeah, it's been rearranged. Right?
Yes.
Therefore, there was no other bladed weapon in the room.
Objection!
RS confirmed the real killer commenced breakdown. I disagree. The toolkit contained a knife. And what proof do you have of that? Don't tell me your eye for art is failing you too, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth? Whoa, the fucking disrespect. You're the last person in the world who should be criticizing my aesthetic sense. Now, he's simply watching out for your ocular health. Please proceed, Mr. Rat. Notice that the handles of each of these tools have a sort of design on them. Ah, I see that they do. But what significance does that have? It's clear that one of the tools is missing from the kit. If we arrange the tools in a specific pattern, we might be able to tell which part of the overall design is missing. Is that the theory or pitiful sense of aesthetics helped you come up with? Edgeworth, just let it go, man! Show the court, then, if you would. What pattern or design would you see if we were to arrange the tools? The Galaxy.
Yaxa!
This one, right? The Space Center pamphlet?
Yes.
Yeah,
present
doesn't that show the front of it?
Present robots with a heart or the Space Center pamphlet. It shows the Gaxa logo.
I'm gonna do this one because it's very obvious. just because I need to. And what design is this supposed to represent? The Gayaxa logo, Your Honor. It's on all the Space Center's documents and pamphlets. As you're aware, Gayaxa is the program that operates the Cosmos Space Center.
Look at how brightly the Gaxa logo shines in the sunlight above the entranceway. I really dig the stars and rockets motif that it's got going.
Gayaxa, huh? Isn't that the new name of the Federal Space R&D program? Georgie's here, or Frederick's here. Ah, I think I see it now, but... Yes, with just the tools shown in this photo, the red A part of the logo is missing. And this is where the murder weapon from the Terran case comes to play. If we were to place the utility knife in the open slot,
Oh,
it would complete the Gaiaxa logo. So it would. Then that means, admit it, Edgeworth, Mr. Edgeworth, my aesthetic sense is keener than yours. And while you're at it, admit that the weapon Miss Sykes used could have been this one. Oh, holy shit, he's right. Yeah, he looks crazy in that ascot. What was he thinking? Order in the court. Miss Sykes confessed to having a memory of stabbing the victim. Admittedly, Miss Sykes most likely did stab someone using the utility knife. However, the weapon used to kill Dr. Sykes was the katana. Therefore, the act of stabbing that Miss Sykes remembers couldn't have been that of Dr. Sykes. Very well. Let's suppose for a minute that Miss Sykes did use the utility knife. Tell me, how does that change anything?
that classic.
That smug, like, fucking... Come again? That's what she said last night. That's what... Well, I remember you saying that last night. Shut up, Edgeworth. What if the katana was only being used as a decoy to conceal the true murder weapon? What if the real weapon that took the victim's life was the utility knife? Don't be ridiculous! Or are you changing the premise of your entire argument?
Isn't that what you do in the entire time, Phoenix? That's your MO.
I'm merely offering a hypothetical situation derived from your logic. Miss Sykes could have put the blood on the katana to make it look like the murder weapon, and then concealed the knife on her personage until Blackwheel carried her away. That does clear up the contradictions between Miss Sykes' memories and the evidence. If in fact the murder weapon is a utility knife, then fate has dealt you a cruel hand. For you have just proven the knife's existence to the rest of us with your own logic.
Objection!
The prosecution is attempting to lead the court!
Objection!
You're the one attempting to lead the court, Mr. Wright. By forcing us to forget the facts of this case. Need I remind you that there are only 2 people in the lab at the time of the murder? And that the defendant herself recalls stabbing someone with her own hands. No! It matters not whether the murder weapon was a katana or a utility knife. As long as we know that the victim and the defendant were the only ones there. You cannot escape the fact that it was Athena Sykes who killed her own mother. I don't believe it. Why? Why does this keep happening? Every time I find a contradiction, it vanishes and the suspicion keeps coming back. It's almost as if... Now you're finally starting to get it. Your contradictions keep vanishing because the charge is true. And the suspicion keeps coming back to the defendant because that's where it belongs. Phoenix Wright, when will you open your eyes and accept the truth?
Damn.
My hemorrhoids.
The truth of us being married.
I don't want to believe it. It can't be true.
Did we have a Vegas wedding and I just don't remember?
But what if... Mr. Wright, you fought a good fight. I think you've done all you can do. Come on. Is giving up really the only option? Come on, our best boy's gonna come in. No. Snap out of it, Phoenix. What's the matter with you? Giving in to doubt. I can't look back. Forward is the only way to go. No, Your Honor, not yet. It isn't over yet. Right. I can't lose sight of what's important. I believe in Athena, and I'll always believe in her, to the very end.
Japan and Vegas.
The defense lawyer never gives up on his client. I have to pick myself up and stand firm. Make that brain of yours work, Phoenix.
Put those 2 brain cells together.
If I don't see a way, I'll just have to go back and look for one. Time to rethink this case thoroughly. Oh, is this the whole like? This is used with what's his face? This was used with
Kristoff.
Yeah. I can see the fact that Athena must have stabbed someone with a utility knife. It must have been what Ponko witnessed as Athena's hug. But Prosecutor Blackwell didn't see the knife at the scene. Is that Danganronpa recap feature? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, Danganronpa's so cool.
I mean, at this point,
Phoenix Wright
considering
better.
how convoluted this game has gotten, it's necessary when you're just like, it's been months.
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened.
This means that someone must have removed it from the lab before he arrived. Who could have taken the utility knife from the lab? Someone else. There's a third person. There was a third person. There's no way that could not have been, right?
Yeah.
If I trust in Athena, then I have to conclude that there was a third person at the scene. But according to Ponko's testimony, Athena and her mother were the only two there. So then how did this person manage to escape Ponko's detection? I know. The person must have fooled Ponko's facial recognition feature by covering their face. But wait a minute. Ponko has a heartbeat detection system too. Even if they covered their own face, Ponko would have still detected their presence. But she wouldn't have been able to tell who they were. Wait, that's it. The culprit could have covered their face and posed as which person to avoid detection. Either Simon or... Yeah, Simon.
No.
Or Ponko? Or herself. Oh no, herself.
Yeah.
Because Métis Sykes doesn't wear her ID
In the labs.
in the labs.
Yeah.
So she could have just used the jacket.
Yeah. Exactly. Because that's what happened with our boy.
With Taryn. Yeah.
Yeah, because like Apollo is wearing Terran's
Jacket. And he keeps calling him Taryn because he
Yeah.
sees the ID print, right?
Yeah.
If the culprit posed as the victim, that would explain why Ponko thought only she and Athena were there, which explains the stabbing.
Yes.
Athena wasn't stabbing her mother. Athena was stabbing an intruder. All they had to do was take advantage of Ponko's basic recognition features. The culprit used this in order to pose as the victim, her jacket.
Which means Métis was already dead at that point.
Yeah, she was either already dead or... No, she was already dead because the testimony that Batquill had murdered her is false. It's a cover. The culprit could have posed as the victim by wearing her jacket with the ID tag on it. But that still leaves the heartbeat detection system. How did the culprit get around that? It wouldn't have worked if Ponko could detect the real Dr. Sykes' heartbeat too. So does that mean that real Dr. Sykes was already dead by that time?
Yes.
If that's the case, then who did Athena stab? The culprit.
The real culprit.
Well.
That's it. The person Athena stabbed wasn't Dr. Sykes. It was the person who murdered her that pretended to be her. The real culprit. This almost feels like you know how like when what was it? Our Robert Downey Jr.'s Sherlock Holmes like goes through the process. He's just like, must attack left to upward, attack to the throat, nullify vocal features, aim for the knee, then counter strike with the right hook. I should do that instead next time. But the music is so advanced, like so like hype.
Yeah, I know, right?
Now that Mr. Wright has finally finished thinking, let us bring this to a swift end. Please give us your verdict, Your Honor.
I don't know why, but it's just like the way you're like, now that Phoenix Wright has finished thinking. God, why does that sound so insulting?
I usually just like, now that the Phoenix Wright has finished thinking. It's like, think. I like to imagine Phoenix just standing there the entire time, not saying anything. That's exactly what he's doing. He's just like steam coming out of his head, just fucking trying to get it done. Please give us your verdict, Your Honor, so that we may move on to hostage negotiations. You are absolutely right, Prosecutor Edgeworth. I hereby...
That was a Fred I was cuddling, by the way.
Yeah. I didn't say I was finished. I was only pausing for a second.
What was...
Phoenix, it's been 20 minutes. Mr. Wright, it's been 20 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry. Because I realized something so shocking, I had to take a break to digest it.
And poop.
What?
Oh, Oh, May's. May's all right, well, let May inside. Let May in. May was like, and pooping. What the fuck? Where's that coming from? I realized I left the window open, so May just yelled. It was just yelling through the cricket call. Okay, we'll continue. It's been 2 hours, Phoenix. Yeah, can you imagine? He's like, now that he's like, I had to take a second to digest it. It's been 2 hours, Mr. Rat. May's coming through the door right now. Yeah. But now, I know for a fact, Miss Sykes is innocent.
But Ponko saw me. He witnessed the moment of the crime.
Wait, I'm assuming, I think I know who the murderer might be, because a person who has that intricate knowledge of the system can only be the person who created it. And there's only 2 people there that can do that. Also, hi May, you can come into the blue screen if you want. We need your voice in a minute.
No.
Yeah, we'll need your voice in a minute. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to.
I'm terrible at it.
Exactly.
Okay, you can be
West Virginia.
the voice behind
You can come right here, and then you don't have to be in the screen.
Yeah, you can be the voice behind the screen.
West Virginia, those mountains. We love you, May, says everybody in the chat. Hello, it's me, May. Okay. But Ponko saw me, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Yes, Ponko did witness something. She saw the hug. In other words, she saw the moment you used the utility knife. Country roads.
Getting my home.
But the person you stabbed wasn't your mother. What are you saying, Mr. Rat? The answer is simple. The person Miss Sykes stabbed was a third person, posing as Dr. Sykes. What? Holy shit! What's this? What is this courtroom? This isn't even real! Do you really expect us to swallow that, Mr. Wright?
Oh.
You're damn right I do. You're gonna swallow the whole load. According to the robot's statement, there was no third person there. Do you really think I wouldn't see through your ludicrous grab for time? After all we've been through, Mr. Edgeworth, I am disappointed. Don't you know by now that this smile of mine means I have absolute confidence? You make that pose all the time, regardless of the facts. Klonko's strange malfunction.
Mr. Terran, you look pale. Shall I help you to the sick bay?
Mr. Terran.
But that's Apollo you're talking to. Your voice now.
You want to do
Give
it?
her like a really deep One voice, you know, like
I don't know, what does a deep One sound?
just like very sultry, very much like condescending.
Give your best ara.
Do it.
I don't know how! Oh, this hunk of junk here is mistaken Apollo for Clay. Maybe Apollo is possessed by Clay's ghost.
There we go.
Yeah.
At least it's better than the first time we had someone else on was Kathy, because we were playing Ace Attorney 1. And first case, and spoilies, Mia Fey dies in the first episode, and when I roped her into it, she was just like, she's like, oh, like it's gonna be weird because I'm not gonna be able to voice this character because I'm not gonna be here all the time. I'm like, don't worry, she dies, and she looked at me like, what? And I'm like, what? You haven't played Ace Attorney before? She's like, no, I've never played Ace Attorney, and I was just like, whoops. Anyway. That was another case of mistaken identity caused by a jacket ID tag. All because Klonko couldn't read Apollo's facial features due to that eye patch. Like Mr. Edgeworth said, a mask could nullify the robot's facial recognition, and then all the person would have to do is wear a jacket with the victim's ID tag to pose as her. Of all the ridiculous theories, what good would a silly disguise like that do? Have you forgotten that the robot also has a heartbeat detection system? If there was a third person at the scene, the robot would have detected them. Oh, an ad starting soon. All right, ad starting soon, folks. Yeah, I can see that there's an ad situation going on, so we keep track of that so that people don't lose track of this. So we're gonna let the ad roll for 30 seconds. Hello, May. Oh. How's your birthday been?
It was really fun. I did the VR zombie shooting.
I saw that.
Oh my god, you guys, we need to do it.
Wait, there's a VR zombie
Yeah, they
shooting?
put you in a
so fun.
space, like a VR space, and so you like when you move, like it kind of moves around you, so you have enough space to kind of like move around, shoot, and kind of like avoid things.
It's so fun.
Oh my god, I need to do
you
that.
guys, we need to go. It's
Yeah.
in Richmond.
Oh my
Last
god, we need to do
time
that.
when we went to LA, we did a
Escape
room with Justin and April. It was very fun. So
Okay, like the group of girls that I went with, it was just like, like, it's like
the
screaming,
trash.
like, getting hit left and right. They're like, someone save me, because they kept dying, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh my
You
god.
have a gun. Save yourself. Okay, moving on. I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but that doesn't count for much, I'm afraid. Because at that time, Dr. Sykes' heart had already stopped beating. What? So does that mean... Yes, Your Honor. The person Miss Sykes stabbed... This third person who was posing as Dr. Sykes is her mother's real killer. But that's... I'm impossible! Oh, God!
What happened to the court?
Oh, it blew up. This was the only room they could get at such short notice.
A mask!
It's a long story.
The person I stabbed was wearing a mask?
Order in this court. Miss Sachs, did you say something?
A mask! Yes! I remember.
And she's heavily traumatized.
Yeah.
It's Christoph Gavin. Yeah. Athena, what is it? Her
You're gonna like break her mind.
her blurks, even her little robot goes black too.
Yeah.
I remember a man with a mask. Oh, goody. What did he do to my mother? My head.
Miss Sachs, are you all right?
Does she look alright?
No. She is not all right. The black psych... Is it Cyclocks or Psyche Locks?
I say psych.
I say Cyclocks. The black Cyclocks are... dancing. Sorry. Oh, thank God. I didn't want to have to break 5 fucking Cyclocks.
I know, right? Funky locks.
Funke Locks? Yeah.
It's all coming back to me. Everything that happened that day. My mother was murdered.
Gonna be okay. I'm like, please don't be a cutscene because that really kills
I know,
the
right?
frame rate. They're gone. The black Cyclocks.
I don't like the way you say black.
You didn't really stab your mother, did you? That's all right, Athena. Just tell us what you saw that day.
I was drawing a picture. When I was done, I went to show it to my mom. I opened the door, and then...
It's all right. I'm right here. You're safe, Athena.
She was on the floor, by the workbench, with the katana sticking out of her. There was a handkerchief over her face, but I knew it was her by her clothes. And there was a man there.
A man? Quiet, Your Honor. Go on, Athena. Shut the fuck your mouth, man. I love the fact, like, no, this is important. This is a lot of emotional weight and drama.
Shut your mouth, old man.
Shut your mouth.
He tried to attack me. In a panic, I grabbed the knife that was there and... He dodged at first, so I only got his clothes. But I tried again.
And this time you got him, didn't you?
I did. I remember it clearly now. The knife went into the back of his hand. Then he kicked me and I passed out.
So this murder weapon was stabbed the Phantom's hand.
When I came to, my mom wasn't moving. I had to do something. I had to fix her. I thought... So I asked Ponko to move her to the operating table.
Meant for robots.
Yeah, but she was a child.
I know.
Something's wrong with Mom, so I'm taking her to get her fixed.
So just a little bit backstory on that one. Blackwell walked in that scene where like basically her mother is on a table meant for robots to like take apart and reassemble, and there's Athena like covered in blood, big blank eyes, going like, "I'm fixing mother," and he's just like, "Okay, this looks really bad." So that's why she said that, because it came from an honest place. Yeah. Your Honor, as you can see, the defendant has just given us critical new testimony. A man was there before Miss Sykes arrived. A man who covered the victim's face and put on the victim's jacket. This man is the real culprit. Miss Sykes, do you have any idea who this man was?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
A few moments ago, Miss Sykes mentioned a mask. Athena, can you tell us anything about that?
Yes, the mask. It was my mom's Japanese theater mask.
I love the fact that even now we cannot call it a Noah mask, because no one's gonna know what that means.
No mask.
No mask. It's just like first Ace Attorney where it's just like, let's go get hamburgers. Not ramen. But nowadays, like, ramen, everybody knows what ramen is. Oh, advertising is fine. Man.
God, that just tells us how old the first Ace Attorney was.
Like, no one's gonna know what ramen
It was on GBA. It was Game Boy Advance. Not even dual screen. It was the GBA. It was single screened. God.
I think it was the one hanging on the wall in the lab.
This mask hanging here on the wall.
It was kind of spooky, that mask. My mom used to tell me that a null mask
Thank God.
even has the power to turn an ordinary human into a phantom.
Phantom? It would seem that a new suspect has emerged. And that means that all suspicion against Miss Sykes has... Oh God, who is it now? Oh, right, Aura does not like this.
Yes.
Oh, you see, this precisely why I can't trust the court system. Athena Sykes is the murderer. I won't accept any other verdict.
Miss Blackwell, this is not good.
A new suspect? Where's the proof this person ever existed? Who says it wasn't all just a dream in the little princess' groggy little head?
She's right. We don't have any hard evidence of the masked man's existence.
Objection!
Or do we?
Thank you, Mr. Wright. I'll never be able to repay you for all you've done. But I'm fine now, because I can say with certainty that I didn't kill my mother.
Oh, our necklace is blue now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little robot.
It's a...
that helps interpret her emotions.
Yeah. So you mean she's distressed or something or surprised? It'll change too. Like, oh, Athena, I'm so glad for you.
More and more memories are coming back now. So I'd like to say one thing, if I could. Ponko came to the robotics lab at about 2 p.m. to recharge.
That's, me, are you?
I went to the robotics lab at about 2 p.m. for my regular recharge. Just as I was about to charge up, Athena came in and hugged Mommy Mentis. And then Mommy Mentis fell down. After that, I was recharging, so I don't know anything.
God, what a useless robot.
I mean, the robots, man. I see where you're going with this. If Mommy Metis was really the killer in disguise.
Right. Then he must have come into the robotics labs before 2 p.m.
Do I have anything in here? Do I have anything here in the evidence?
Yes, you do.
That can help me find the person who came into the lab before 2 p.m.
Yes, you do.
Full-size replicas. The Space Museum is blah, 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 blah. That's not it. Launched only a few days ago. Paper clipping. 7-year-old video shows the court of the crime scene. This one?
Yes.
It has only him doing that, but unless they came out and posed as him, maybe?
It is the 7-year-old video.
Yeah.
Take that!
That's not Blackwell in the video, maybe? This is Prosecutor Blackwell leaving the scene of the... This is Prosecutor Blackwell leaving the scene after the incident at around 3 p.m. What I'm wondering is, does this video show anyone else passing by here before then?
Yes, before.
Yeah. I don't see anything in the investigation report. It looks like they didn't check. Oh, so it could be there. Mm-hmm. Just as I thought. So if we rewind the footage and go back to around 2 p.m., we should be able to see the true culprit leaving the scene. Very well then, let's take a look. There! Please stop it right there. It's Meekins! No. Look at it, it's Meekins! No. Just like you said, there's a man leaving... Oh, sorry. It's just like you said. There's a man leaving the scene of the crime. Miss Sykes, do you remember this person?
It was Larry Butts!
It's the Butts. Yeah, it's Larry. Larry's like, not again, dude!
That's him! I'm sure of it!
And you can see the little face on the... Yeah.
He's wearing my mother's jacket!
Angry
Yes,
face,
no.
yeah.
This is...
And flashback.
Yes.
I did. But what I really wanted to see was her jacket.
Oh, and you can see the tear in it
Yeah, the cut.
that she made from the first slash, yeah. That jacket on display. That was Dr. Sykes.
Can you see it? There's a slash I made with a utility knife that day. And I'm sure that knife is under that jacket somewhere.
So if we get the jacket, we could find the knife, the murder weapon, yeah. So there, everything Miss Sykes said was... Exactly. It proves that Miss Sykes' memory was correct. Dr. Sykes' killer arrived at the robotics lab before 2 p.m. He killed her and hit her face with a handkerchief. And then he disguised himself with Dr. Sykes' jacket and mask that were there in the lab. The culprit probably knew... It's my show now! It's mine!
Get behind the blue screen, just make it.
You're fired! May, you're the new Athena.
The culprit probably knew beforehand that Ponko charged up at 2 p.m. every day. So he waited for Ponko to come to the lab for her regular recharge.
By leaving Dr. Sykes' jacket on, the culprit tricked Ponko into thinking he was Dr. Sykes, thereby making it look like she was alive up to that point in time. All to disguise the real time of death.
Oh, Brennan's gotta go!
All right, bye, Brennan.
What?
Hey.
Just wanted to see the reveal.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. You can watch the VOD after. It's a nice theory, Mr. Wright, but I'm afraid that is just not possible. What? Why not? The victim's jacket is clearly visible here in the video. And that right there is precisely the problem. The ID tag on the jacket at the scene confirms beyond a doubt that it belonged to the victim. If the person who left the lab truly was wearing the victim's jacket, then how could it possibly have wound up back at the scene, back at the crime scene? Huh. What's going on? It doesn't make sense. Edgeworth's right. If the culprit was wearing her jacket, how did he get back? How did he get back to the
Take a
lab?
moment to save state. Up in, not this.
Not this one. Whoops. Ah, sorry.
Go up into emulation. Save state, and then
Slot 3.
sure.
Oops, gonna take a hit as it saves. Save state is there. Awesome.
Okay,
Cool.
yeah, because this is where you can. Bad end.
Oh, we'll come back to this. What ifs next time.
yeah.
Here, where are we going?
Yeah, Stumped came back.
Yeah, he did.
With
He rated
a
us.
huge raid.
Huge red.
Huge raid.
Huge red.
Also, hello, James.
Hello, Hames.
Hello.
May's here too.
Hello.
She's doing her Ada voice for Aura now.
So bad.
It's so fucking good. You don't know what you don't know this, but we've been altering your voice a little bit with so whenever you're talking to a robot, you have an up robot voice, but when you're talking through when you're like doing flashbacks and stuff, it's reverberation.
Oh.
So we're making you super robot sexy, I guess. Right. So
Killer brought it back.
yeah, makes sense. Obviously they knew they couldn't keep the jacket. The killer used the jacket as a disguise to make his escape, but in order to conceal that fact, he had to get the jacket back to the scene of the crime. So the culprit simply returned to the robotics lab later and planted it there. Contradiction resolved. I mean, it's fair. He brought it back. Except that it would have been impossible. The only people who came to the robotics lab after the killers... The only person who came to the robotics lab after the killer were Prosecutor Blackwell and the people who reported the body. And they claimed the jacket was there when they arrived. So, when do you propose this mysterious man of yours had the chance to return the jacket? A puzzling question indeed. When did the culprit have the chance to bring the jacket back? At the time of the... Was it when the body was found?
Yeah, because you wouldn't. He took it at the time of the murder
Yeah.
to disguise. That's your only other option. When it was found.
The only time the culprit could have returned the jacket was when the body was found. Mr. Wright, do you realize the implications of that argument? I do. Most people, when they come across a murder, focus their attention to the body. The culprit could have taken advantage of that split second to plant the jacket. It's fair. In other words, the true culprit of this case, the man known as the Phantom, was one of the first people to discover the body. I would never have thought of that. Holy shit! Is this trial even real? I mean, order in this court. What is the meaning of this, Prosecutor Edgeworth?
Can you explain your husband to me?
Explain your husband's actions. The body was discovered and reported by a group of 3 people. They were here to collect the space probe's capsule in preparation for the Hat 1 launch. One of those people had a special bag to transport the capsule in. That's true. Oh, you mean the shock-resistant bag? Correct. I suppose if that jacket was in the bag, it could have been returned to the scene of the crime without anyone noticing. Now, I'll see to it that you get your report. I'll see to it that you get the reports on those 3 people. You will? We should also check the facial recognition database for that robot. If this person felt the need to hide his face with a theater mask, it might mean that his facial data was once registered. Prosecutor Edgeworth, does this mean? I have to admit, I believe Miss Sykes' memory to be credible. You win, right? Not that this was ever an official trial anyway.
Yeah.
The whole trial is a fucking joke.
It's not official.
It's not official anyway. Which I'm just like, oh my god, why are we going so hard on this? It's not even legally binding.
It's a hostage negotiation.
Yeah. Do my ears deceive me? Prosecutor Edgeworth, are you actually conceding? Holy shit! This is the greatest trial I've ever been to.
Is it true, boss? Does this mean
I can't believe it. It's over. I won. I proved that both Athena and Prosecutor Blackwell are innocent.
Oh, before you go.
Your Honor, I see no need to further prolong this trial.
Objection!
Yes. What's up, Brendan?
Hold on, Mr. Wright. Have you forgotten who's in charge of this trial? That's right. I'm the one who's supposed to say I see no further need to prolong.
Who is it? Who's
No.
your theory of who is it?
Not you either, Your Honor. Now silence.
Who's the theory?
Who done it?
Done it. Okay, so this one I have spoilers.
Okay,
So
if it's
you.
never been mentioned who it was, is it, I need a couple questions. Is it someone we have seen in this game, like in person in this game?
Yes.
It has been. Who? I'm trying to figure out who has a hand injury that we know about. And everyone thinks it's Clavier, which is weird because he's a prosecutor. So how could like? I'm trying to find any type of thread to this theory,
But
to the theory, because he's never mentioned at all that he ever worked for
You mean Kristoff?
Kristoff,
No,
I'm sorry.
Kristoff is jailed and
Yeah, he's been jailed for a long time. There's no way
not-
he could have done it. Kristoff, his hand was fine. I'm trying to figure out any person who's had any damage to their hand before. I don't know if it's a red herring to say that it was a man who did it. Is that it? Is it a red herring?
No, that's not a red
It's
hair.
a dude. Is it?
But
Is
I
it
mean,
Clay? Is Clay a secret agent, double agent? Because that's gonna be fucking terrible for Apollo, who loves the fuck out of that guy, and I think that's gonna be the case. That it makes sense too why he was killed. It's a loose end being wrapped up, essentially. I think that's what it's going to be. He's a double agent for some other country, and a double agent came and killed him. Another agent came and killed him. Thanks for the hydration. That's my theory, because we haven't wrapped up the whole like, oh, other countries are like really look at us to kind of steal our shit. So there must be some kind of spy, and the only way that can be wrapped up is that if Clay is actually a double agent. I don't remember seeing his hand injured. I do remember his hand being shown. I just don't remember if there's any injury attached to it, or it could have been the different hand that he used, which was really weird because he needs his handprint to actually like to use, because there's an ID processing system that requires his handprint. So, am I right? It makes perfect sense, right? Clay is a double agent.
I know. Brennan knows.
What if it was Apollo all along? Yeah, it's Apollo. It's actually Apollo, and he's just trying to cover his tracks. He comes in with a bomb. He's like, "You can't leave."
So
like,
Brennan,
I'm actually secret agent from North Virginia.
Brendan has the advantage of being behind a screen, so he has a perfect poker face.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Anyways.
The little princess who was truly beloved by Metis, who repaid that love with death. All of these years, hating Athena was the only thing that's kept me going. But what do I do now? Can anybody tell me? How am I supposed to go on?
Miss Blackwell. How unlike you, Aura. Métis was deeply passionate about her work, and she chose you as her partner.
Her life partner.
Her life partner. Isn't that...
Shut up, Simon. I don't know why that made me laugh. You know exactly how I felt about her.
Gay?
Her respect as a coworker wasn't all that I wanted.
I love it.
Oh god, this shit writes itself.
Then what did you want from her? Did you really just go there, Your Honor?
These bitches be gay, good for them.
Aura, there is something I wanted to say, if you will lend me an ear. I have in my possession a lead on whom Métis' murder is. You do? Right, Ono. You asked me about the identity of the Phantom of the 7 years past. That's right. The Phantom. The person Blackwell who has been looking for, even from behind bars.
Yes, this has also been 7 years ago, so...
7 years ago, somebody hatched a plan to sabotage the Hat 1 rocket. The spy. But he wasn't no ordinary spy. We knew naught about him, his background, appearance. We came to refer to him as the Phantom. At that time, I was working with the police to hunt him down. And then one day, a miracle occurred, and I obtained a lead on him. Oh, how exciting! What was the lead? A recording of the Phantom's voice, but the quality was too poor for proper voice analysis. Yet I had hope. Aura's co-worker was a scientist who could analyze human emotion. So I asked her to evaluate the recording using analytical psychology. And that scientist was Dr. Sykes. Yes, a spy's greatest fear is to have his true identity discovered. In addition to Hat 1, Dr. Sykes' results and the recording were surely among his targets. But this search of the Space Center bore no fruit, so he must have started to panic. He couldn't find them, but where could they have been? Who's to say? Wow, I bet he's never let that out of his sight all these years. How in the world did you smuggle them into prison?
In my prison purse.
In my prison purse.
I have my way.
Oh, I have my ways. What's more, my partner is especially talented at that sort of thing. Oh God!
Oh, the bird.
The bird. Oh,
Okay.
the bird. Oh, okay. Woo! the reason why he has that bird is so that plot point is completely resolved. It's like we don't want to think Blackwell's storing giant containers in his butt. I worked to lure the Phantom by spreading rumors throughout the underworld. I was even granted permission to prosecute cases to attract the Phantom's attention. Just try to retrieve your identity, you bloody butcher, became my taunt.
Right, eh?
And what about the results Dr. Sykes drew up for you? Was there any useful information? Here, you can see for yourself. But take good care of it. It's all I have left of my mentor. I will. I'd better hold on to these real tight. The subject emotions rarely fluctuate, and he doesn't experience feelings like moral. So he's a psychopath. Cool, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to be at that point.
If you want
So just taking a moment with your Clay Terran theory being the Phantom, now that we're reminded that this case was 7 years ago, and Clay is Apollo's age, and Apollo is essentially Athena's age.
That makes him a child murderer. He's a child murdering, not a murderer.
You still gonna stand behind that?
It could be that he's faking his age. Like it could be that he is actually a lot older, and that he could be what are those things called? A sleeper agent.
Okay, so we're still standing behind.
I'm gonna stand behind it. It might be Clay.
Terran.
It might be Clay. It might be the director, but I doubt it. It's hard for me to know. There's no evidence. There's no physical evidence for like if he's wearing gloves all the time. I've never seen his hands, so I don't know, right?
Okay,
but he said he was there at the Hat one originally.
Okay.
So yeah, it'd be really weird for him to do it. So
he's a very tall child.
Yeah, it has to be somebody who knows how the system works, because else they wouldn't have been able to do it. But then if it was Clay
7 years ago, as a child,
yeah. But we'll see.
Evil Ponko.
Evil Ponko. Yeah, it's like a T2000 where like he's just liquid metal and it's just like robots from the future trying to kill them. I wouldn't doubt it. Phoenix Wright tends to get really fucking crazy like that. Emotional output for this voice is extremely weak compared to typical voice. Oh, is this Dr. Sykes' voice?
Or just reading off the report.
Oh, maybe. Subject deemed to have unique psychological makeup with almost no emotional fluctuation. Oh, emotional fluctuation, huh? A spy who experiences no emotions, nor sadness, nor anger, and naturally no fear. He is the very definition of a phantom, a monster with no heart, don't you see? This creature is the rot that destroyed our lives and set what ails us all into motion. The Phantom indeed, a fitting name for the one who has brought darkness to our world. Well there. It seems a faint image of this man has started to take shape. Based on what we have learned, I'd like all of you to conduct further investigation. This is not a formal trial, but I do want to follow protocol. If I may, I'd like to hand down my verdicts and bring these proceedings to an end.
Whatever. What you want? What do you
What you want? What you want?
What you want? What you want?
Tell me what you want.
You'll hear no objections from me. Yes, please, Your Honor. It's over. It's finally over. Very well. In that case, Prosecutor Blackwell, would you please take the stand?
Why Blackwell?
Because,
we were trying Athena.
That's true, but it's not a real formal trial.
Yeah,
He can do
I know,
whatever the fuck he
but
wants. As a result of this trial, your innocence has been proven. The verdict handed down 7 years ago is hereby overturned.
Oh, in an unofficial trial?
In an unofficial
thanks.
trial, which is really weird. I mean, at least it gives him a stay of execution,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And now, the defendant of the current trial, Miss Athena Sykes. So he's like, I'm gonna stay your execution, and we're gonna sort this all out.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, thank you. Thank you for everything.
Athena, you're more than welcome. If everyone is ready, I will now give my verdict. Oh, fuck! Who else?
This time.
Who else? You. Apollo! Apollo! What is the meaning of this? Congratulations, Mr. Wright and Prosecutor Edgeworth. You uncovered the truth from 7 years ago, and you saved Prosecutor Blackwell. However, I can't allow this trial to end just yet. Why? I gotta go to the washroom. Come on. Give me something. Why, Apollo? Why would you do this to us? Oh my God, Apollo! Stop! The timing. Why would you betray your parents? Yeah.
It's okay. Let's just wait a moment for
Wait for everybody to reconvene. Hello, yes, Apollo has come in and said, please continue this trial. And we were just like, why?
And then it was like, to be continued.
And it was to be continued. Where have you seen them before?
Seen who? Seen what?
Lost my green.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for the follow.
Thank you for the follow. We're going to do a quick save, and then we're going to do a little bit of intro about what's coming up next, and then we're going to call it for the day. Again, for those of you who have joined us, thank you. For those of you from the raid, feel free to hit follow and subscribe. We appreciate you being here. And then tomorrow will be Monday, and that'll be Ashley's Day?
Yes.
Yes, Ashley's Day. And she will be playing more, what's it called? More, oh, thank you, Turtle 2026. Pleasure. Thank you. As you can see,
Mario
when you
Party.
chat, by the way, when you do the chat and stuff, on the far right hand side, you get an image of like characters from the game. I pulled from different games, and so you can change that character as you continue to watch on the widget that's on the bottom of the channel. So you can become Rocket the dog. You can be Edgeworth, you can be Gumshoe, which is one of my favorites. But yeah, so feel free to do that. It's a fun thing to do when we do these streams. All you have to do is just speak up and say hello, and you appear. So yeah.
Chronicles of Birdo the Hoe.
Where have I seen his movements before? I don't know, the crossed hands and then the I don't know what that reminds me of. It's very classic kind of. It feels a little bit like Elite Beat Agents, you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, we're gonna do a quick save, and then we're gonna just do a little bit of the preview and see what's up. Well, Missile, right? I call him.
No, I know what you're talking about. You son of a.
Joyce's pose. Joyce knows. I don't.
I have vague memories. I could be wrong. Because again, most of what I know about this game, not most, all of what I know about this game is from fanfics.
Gotcha.
So,
is he possessed by a demon? Is that it? Is he literally possessed? Is that it? Please don't tell me he's possessed. That seems super fucking ridiculous. Mr. Justice, please explain yourself. It's very simple. There isn't much to explain. The defendant, Miss Athena Sykes, might not be innocent. What are you talking about? The case from 7 years ago has been settled. I'm not talking about the past here. I'm talking about the present case. I'm still not clear who killed Clay Terran.
but Apollo, why would you? All right, because her fingerprints were on the
weapon, yeah. Miss Sykes, please listen quietly to what I have to say. What in the world is Apollo trying to do? Your Honor, please allow me a little of the court's time. But this is the trial for the case from 7 years ago. Miss Blackwell, I'd like to ask a favor of you. I'd like, just as you lost someone close to you, I lost someone close to me too. I'm sure you want to know the real truth of what happened as much as I do.
Apollo. Sure, you know I'm all for the truth. Now let's see you expose the princess's guilt. Judge, I give my permission. Continue with the trial.
I will continue to hold these hostages here.
Continue with the trial, or I murder hostages. Thanks. This is great.
Phoenix, I will murder your daughter.
Yeah. Very well. Oh, no, sorry. Very well. Is that all right with you, Prosecutor Edgeworth? But the prosecution has no objections. Let's hear Mr. Justice's testimony. I'll have the police's investigation report brought immediately. Not you too, Edgeworth. I really hope it's because you have something up your sleeve. Or in your ascot or something, I don't know.
Your ascot.
Your ascot. Bear away your opening statement, please, Prosecutor Edgeworth. As you wish. Let's review the case of the murder of Mr. Clay Terran. All right, I think that's all we're gonna get. It's gonna just be back.
Yeah, because it's gonna be a whole nother day.
It's a whole nother court day. So we're gonna come back to this next week on Sunday. We'll try to shoot for earlier times because that seems to be a little bit more popular with people, and it leaves our evenings open, which is probably a little bit better for us. In the meantime, please present your dump truck, Mr. Edgeworth. In the meantime, we're gonna go do another raid. Joyce has been looking around for one, so we're gonna see if we can find somebody.
I'm gonna do another.
Yeah, Joyce is gonna try to find another one of similar quality. But yeah, in the meantime, thank you so much for joining us. Again, hit like, hit subscribe, all that good stuff. We really appreciate it. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Discord, Facebook, Instagram.
We're the only one with
and
Destinies.
we will see you. Well, this is only for Dual Destinies. Is there any other Phoenix Rights?
Yeah, okay.
And yeah,
Which one of the Phoenix
just
Rights?
anything. Just put Phoenix Right and you should find anything. Yeah, you can catch those links. Thanks for the stream. It was good to catch the stream again. Yes, thanks to see you again. Nice to see you too, Mecha Claude. I'm glad these earlier streams captured everyone. Special guest here, of course, is May. Hello. She just popped in. If you like what you see here, you can follow us on all our socials, and you can let us know about Discord and stuff and how things go.
Ooh, investigations.
Investigations. This is where we pulled a lot of the little things you see over here on the right-hand side near May.
Oh.
So we're gonna go ahead and raid Archie Dove. Let's hope to God that they have decent audio. Just say hi, spam if you're with us. Subscribe. You can spam a raid bear or one of our emotes and rep the brand. Of course, we appreciate you and everything you do for us. And we will see you next time. Here we're going to raid Archie Dove. He's going to be playing. They are playing Mount Edgeworth. Was it Mount Edgeworth Investigations, which is a very different game from what we're playing right now. But show your love, say hello, and we will see you next time. Let's hit the raid. My name's Rashi.
I'm Joyce.
The special guest.
Me.
And this has been the Daring Player Squad channel. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Give me your meat milk, Phoenix.
God, how did that cut off?